Have you ever sat quietly and asked yourself what your life might look like if you saw it through the lens of love rather than disappointment or fear? At this age, the decades behind us have offered joys and heartbreak, clarity and confusion. What becomes clearer, year by year, isn't always the certainty of outcomes, but the enduring, stubborn presence of love. Not only the romantic kind, but the everyday moments of genuine care, friendship, and the gentle acts that bind us together. Faith in love is a choice, and not a naive one. If anything, it's a decision made all the more meaningful by experience. Many of us grew up during a time when love was expressed in handwritten letters, long walks, or a shared cup of coffee on the front porch. Perhaps you've watched love shift from youthful headiness into something quieter and deeper. So what does it mean today to truly have faith in love? Not just faith in an idea, but an active, living belief that love, between partners, friends, family, even strangers, still holds transformative power. Let's start at the top, with something so simple but often overlooked. Love endures, even when circumstances change. When we're young, it's easy to imagine love thriving only in the good times. Over decades, we see partnerships weather long illnesses, sudden losses, or the unexpected turns of life. Love can adapt to new shapes. Consider couples who no longer have the physical energy of youth, but find comfort in familiar routines, daily support, and laughter over old jokes. Or friends separated by distance, who keep a connection alive with a phone call or a postcard. Love isn't static, it adapts, and so can we. If life has brought changes in your relationships, give yourself permission to let love look different now. An action step: reach out to someone with whom the relationship has shifted. You might say, "I was thinking of you today." Even if your connection feels different than before, that simple gesture holds meaning. Another insight: faith in love is strengthened by forgiveness. After 60 years, nobody gets through without scars. There are misunderstandings, grudges, regrets. Some people imagine forgiveness means excusing everything, but truly it's about making peace with reality, so your heart isn't weighed down. Two neighbors might spend years barely speaking over a disagreement about a fence, only to find themselves supporting each other in a crisis. The decision to forgive doesn't erase history, but it does open doors. For you, maybe there's old pain with a sibling, a friend, or even yourself. Ask, what is one resentment I could begin to untangle, even just for my own peace? The practical step might be starting a letter, not to send, but to give your feelings some air. It's true as well that faith in love means believing in its small everyday expressions, not just dramatic grand gestures. When you've lived 6 or more decades, the big events, weddings, births, holidays, often fade in memory compared to the ordinary rituals. The touch of a spouse's hand, the neighbor who checks your mailbox, the friend who remembers your favorite movie. Many of our generation recall when families ate dinner together every night, or neighbors knew each other by name. Today's pace is faster, and sometimes it seems we're expected to show love with surprises, gifts, or exotic vacations. But perhaps the moments that stick with us are the ones where someone quietly saw and responded to our need. A pot of soup on the doorstep, a card in the mail, a door held open. To deepen faith in love right now, notice the little daily kindnesses around you. Acknowledge them, maybe even write them down for a week. You might be surprised by the subtle ways love is offered. This is a good place to invite you to join others in this community who see the value in sharing their journey. If you get value from what we have presented, please like and subscribe to help us grow our channel, Ageless Intuition. Another insight: love doesn't require perfection in ourselves or anyone else. Over the years, media and stories have sometimes pushed the idea that true love is flawless, conflict-free, smooth as a lake at dawn. Real relationships, whether romantic, platonic, or within family, have complications. People change, make mistakes, forget birthdays, say the wrong thing, let each other down. Faith in love means accepting those cracks as part of the beauty. Think about the Japanese art of kintsugi, where broken pottery is repaired with gold. The faults become part of the object's story, creating something more interesting. Our relationships, too, are made stronger and more remarkable through honest mending. If you've hesitated to reach out because of old hurts or your own missteps, remember, no life is untouched by imperfection. The action here: extend kindness, either to yourself or another, around imperfection. Call a grandchild, even if you haven't always known what to say. Apologize if needed. Be willing to see the gold in the cracks, not just the breaks. Let's pause and reflect. Has there been a time in your life, large or small, when you experienced love where you thought none existed? Maybe a stranger's help on a tough afternoon, or a sudden reunion with an old friend. What did that tell you about how love finds its way, even in unexpected places? I encourage you to share a moment like this with someone in our growing community, whether in the comments or in conversation with someone you trust. Another key insight: faith in love opens doors to connection at any age, not just when we're young. Sometimes we're told that love and new friendship are privileges of youth. Yet, research and real life tell a different story. Whether the connection is romantic, platonic, or intergenerational, meaningful bonds can form and deepen in our later chapters. Think about a neighbor who becomes a close friend in your 70s, or grandchildren who share their world and teach you about technology, music, or even TikTok trends. If you find yourself feeling isolated, it's not a sign that love has passed you by. More often, it's an invitation to take the tiniest step outside your comfort zone. If attending a large gathering is too much, arrange a coffee with one person, or join a small group for a shared hobby, book club, or even an online class. Don't underestimate online spaces either. Pen pals and friends are found everywhere now. Let's look at the difference between two approaches. One woman, after her husband died, closed herself off, believing that her best relationships were behind her. She spent days in front of the television, feeling lonelier and lonelier. Another, also grieving, began volunteering at a local library, just shelving books once a week. That small engagement opened up a circle of new acquaintances and eventually new friends. Neither path was wrong. Grief is real and personal, but the willingness to believe in connection, even after loss, opened doors for the second woman. If you're in a place of withdrawal, ask if a small step might bring some light. Faith in love means nurturing curiosity too. When we stay curious about others, what they're thinking, feeling, or what lights them up, our relationships deepen. Over a lifetime, it's easy to fall into patterns and routines, especially with those closest to us. But a simple, "Tell me something you've been thinking about lately," can reveal entire worlds. How does this apply? It keeps us connected, not only to those we cherish, but also to our own evolving selves. An action you might try: ask a loved one an open-ended question this week, perhaps at dinner or on the phone. Listen with genuine interest and see what new ground you cover together. Let's not forget that faith in love is also about caring for ourselves. Sometimes we're so busy caring for partners, children, and friends that we put ourselves last. But the truth is, we're only able to offer deep and meaningful love when we nurture our own spirits too. That doesn't mean expensive retreats or grand gestures. It might be as simple as taking a 15-minute walk while listening to music you enjoyed as a teenager, or preparing your favorite meal just for yourself. When you tend to your own well-being, you strengthen your capacity to give and receive love in all forms. There's another thread: being open to receiving love, not just giving it. For many, especially those who have long defined themselves as caregivers, this can be a surprisingly difficult area. Receiving means accepting help, compliments, or even presence without brushing it off or minimizing it. If a neighbor brings soup, you might say, "Thank you, that means a lot," instead of "you shouldn't have." Try allowing yourself the simple pleasure of being cared for. The world becomes richer when giving and receiving circulate together. Let's stop for a moment. Take a breath and think, when did someone last surprise you with kindness? What did you do? How did you feel? If you feel comfortable, share your story in our community space here, not as boast, but as encouragement to others who might be struggling to see love around them now. And since we're on the topic of community, if you've found these reflections valuable, please like and subscribe to help our channel Ageless Intuition grow, and to stay connected with other wise souls exploring life's deeper questions. Returning to the heart of the matter, faith in love at this point in life is neither naive nor passive. It's an active stance, refusing to be hardened by disappointments or closed off by sorrow. It's choosing, sometimes daily, sometimes moment by moment, to see the possibilities for tenderness, connection, and joy. This doesn't mean ignoring practical realities or difficult emotions. Quite the opposite. Faith in love acknowledges pain and chooses hope anyway. Over the years, you've gathered a bouquet of wisdom about what matters and what doesn't, about heartache and resilience, about the ways love weathers time. Maybe upon reflection, you see love showing up in unexpected disguise: forgiveness, patience, shared humor, or simple perseverance. So much has changed in our world, but the need for connection, for being seen and cherished, remains as vital as ever. Let's carry these insights as a gentle reminder for our daily lives. Notice small kindnesses, forgive where possible, welcome imperfection, both in yourself and others. Stay open to new connections, regardless of age or circumstance. Nurture curiosity and self-compassion, and be willing both to offer and to accept help along the way. Your wisdom is needed in your family, in your circle of friends, in your community, and right here among like-minded people who are sharing their journeys honestly. I invite you to share your thoughts below, add your story to the tapestry we're weaving together, and keep this conversation alive. Faith in love truly is one of the most powerful legacies we can pass on. If you found a little spark in today's conversation, please like and subscribe to Ageless Intuition. It helps us build a space where wisdom and warmth are celebrated and shared. Thanks for watching. Tap that like button and subscribe if this brought you joy today. We're growing thanks to wonderful folks like you. Wishing you a peaceful day, wrapped in warmth and love.